Hi, this is Nancy, and this week I'm going to be talking about earth energy, the natural detoxing energy. I am a registered nurse. I'm also a clairvoyant, which means that I can see energy fields with my eyes open. I have worked with those abilities, although they frightened me in the beginning for sure. I've worked with these abilities, have made peace with them, made friends with them, and have used them along with my skill as a nurse for over 2 decades. I have a full-time practice where I do readings, I look at people's energy field, and then I also work as a healer that I can, if I see an imbalance or a block in the energy field, then can help work with energies to help the client bring their energy field into balance. And so again, today's focus is about how I work with earth energy to assist people to do that. But I'm also an intuitive and psychic teacher, meaning I teach intuitive development and psychic mastery. So if you want to know more about me, please always just go right to my website at intuitivemind.org, and there's tons of information there. You can click on About Me to hear different interviews and things like that if you just want to learn a little bit about my background. So on the subject of earth energy is an energy force, a kind of like a different kind of recipe. If we kind of think about energies as recipe, like love, the energy of love can be a certain vibration and frequency. The energy of focus can be a type of energy that helps us focus. We have cosmic energy, we have earth energy, we have sexual energy and creative energy and emotional energy. So we have lots and lots of different energies to work with. But earth energy is such a beautiful, rich energy, and it's a denser, kind of thicker energy that helps. It works almost like a salve that can help kind of soothe and calm the body, just like you would put a salve on a cut or a sore on your skin, helps calm it down. But it can also function as a solvent to dissolve some old, hard, stuck memories, old, stuck emotions, other people's energy, chemical toxins, preservatives from the foods that we eat. So there's lots of advantages, but the biggest thing that I draw upon with earth energy is when I'm working with the client and they have old traumas, old PTSD, chronic trauma. Just being on earth, you don't have to have some major event happening in your life. That just being right now in the stress of our day-to-day news and the natural disasters and the wars and the protest and the violence and the shootings, all of those things can drive our stress level up in the body. And where that stress is initially stored is in the pelvic area. Our physical bodies are made of energy, and our physical bodies are so kind of dense in energy that you can actually touch it. You can feel it, you can move it, it has weight. You can step on the scale in the morning and you can, and this dense physical energy has a weight to it. Our spirit has a weight to it as well, but it can be much more challenging to be able to try to weigh the spirit. But there have been people who have tried to do it. There are scientists who've tried to do it and have claimed to be able to weigh the person before their spirit passes and then weigh afterwards, and they say that there is a weight to the soul. And I believe it. I just haven't read in detail about those things in a long time, but our spirit has a weight, our physical body has a weight. Cosmic energy has a weight, earth energy has a weight. So earth energy is a little heavier than cosmic energy. So what kinds of things can we use to help us in our life? Because not only am I a nurse and not only am I a clairvoyant and a psychic and a teacher, but I'm also really super practical. If it can't have a practical application, then I'm not usually very interested in it. So earth energy has a lot of practical applications. So one of the biggest things is, let's say, the physical body. If you're having pain, let's say you're sick, you have been diagnosed with an illness, this earth energy coming up through the body can help dissolve that pain in the joints, pain anywhere in the body, pressure, tension in the muscles. Earth energy flowing through those areas can help act as a solvent to dissolve the block, and then as a salve at the same time to soothe the area after you've released the block. Emotionally, what earth energy can do, it helps you to dissolve old stuck emotions. Like, who really wants to hang on to emotions from when we were throwing a temper tantrum when we were a year old? Nobody really wants to hang on to that stuff, because it can get triggered when you get upset and then you act like a 2-year-old. You have those emotional expressions because it's getting triggered. It bounces off those old emotions. You can have other people's emotions in your field. That's really common, where we will either match with someone emotionally or we'll take on their emotions so that they feel better. A lot of times, as a nurse, when there was a lot of emotional crisis going on with a health crisis, as a nurse, just for me personally in the hospital, I'd be dragging at the end of the day because there was so much emotion flying. And I worked in the ICU, so you can imagine, even with the other nurses, the emotional stress that we would all be under at times when patients were not doing really well and their health was struggling, and we were trying to keep them alive. And so you heard me mention about old sexual partners and things like that. That's all that kind of emotional, sexual, creative energy. So earth energy can help kind of dissolve that, helps dissolve depression, helps dissolve grief, anxiety, and things like that. From a mental perspective, earth energy it's like, as you're allowing that earth energy to flow, it helps pull all of your spirit, your soul, more into your body. As more of your spirit and your soul moves into your body, then mentally everything starts to kind of quiet down. You're able to mentally focus on what's right in front of you and not as easily distracted. We can call it monkey mind. I can just tell you, here in the United States, especially with all the people that I work with, we're just going to call it mental mind. We are quite mental here in the United States. We like to think, we like to research, we like facts and figures. And that's a beautiful thing. We make great entrepreneurs. We have creative ideas. But if you're so much in your head that you can't even hold a string of thoughts over a half hour or an hour to accomplish things, then that's a problem. So earth energy really is great to help dissolve mental energy in the field, which can cause limitations to our expansiveness and our consciousness. At the spiritual level, I always describe, when I'm looking at someone's field, I can tell when it's really heavy. And sometimes I'll kind of make this joke that it's like we're walking around with 50 wet wool blankets kind of piled, stacked over our head. It's just, you can imagine that, just really weighing the aura down. The beautiful thing about earth energy, remember I said it's like a solvent, a detoxer. It's going to start to dissolve those wet wool blankets, and it sheds quickly. It doesn't take a long time. You can do it in just a couple of minutes to shed those layers. And because I teach intuitive and psychic development, that first part of the teaching is all about kind of detoxifying, clearing, cleansing old, outdated energies so that more of your spirit can come down into the body, and then you can experience those subtleties of intuition, because intuition is very subtle. So you want to enhance your sensitivity, and you want those skills. We are moving into the culture that we're moving here into the 21st century is all not just about our physical aspects in our mind, but also now starting to incorporate our intuitive abilities to help us navigate in the world. The other thing that I like to talk about is that, like, the energy of numbness. A lot of people are not aware that numbness is a feeling. Even though you feel numb, you can't feel anything. It is a feeling. It's an energy that numbs us out. A lot of times, if we're feeling kind of heavy and burdened, the people can drink or do drugs to kind of help numb out, eat food, anything like that. But the actual energy of numbness looks like a clear, kind of mucusy, gelatinous energy that can coat our entire energy field, layers upon layers upon layers of numbness. When we're having a lot of crisis and chaos in our life, it's like, yeah, I need to numb out. It's too much. There's too much going on. And that can work for a while to help you cope. But then after a while, you start to feel, it's like those layers of numbness just build up and build up and build up until you feel completely disconnected. Not only your soul disconnected from your body, but your body feels disconnected from its connection with the earth. We feel disconnected in our relationships, from our job. We just feel disconnected all the way around. So earth energy is a fantastic energy to help dissolve numbness as well. And then once you start to get to those underlying feelings that you were trying to numb out, use that earth energy to help dissolve that as well. So I will talk about, in a meditation, I will guide you in another video through the meditation so that you can work with that separately. But I want to talk about the different types of earth energy. You get to use your playful imagination as to which earth energy you want to work with. For me personally, I like a little lighter earth energy, so I'll tend to kind of work with maybe a brown light or a reddish light or a green light. For some reason, I kind of imagined kind of what these earthy colors would look like. So my imagination creates it from these earthy colors, and this kind of light that travels up through my legs into my pelvis and back down my grounding. But for those of you who are quite empathic, or you like texture, you can work with the energies of sand or warm seawater or underground streams that are packed full of minerals. You can even draw upon the earth energy of lava. And this can be kind of trippy if you want to play with that, where you're just you're tapping in deep at the core of the earth, tapping into those river flows of lava, especially if you want to clear some really dense energy. But I want to encourage you, no matter what earth energy you're working with, please, the first time, go really, really gentle with yourself, especially if if you have old post-traumatic stress syndrome, you have chronic or acute trauma. You want to be really sensitive to your self-care as you're flowing that earth energy up through your legs into your pelvis as it's dissolving some of those old memories. We want to be gentle, not triggering, I guess is what my clear intention is. So that's it for the teaching today about earth energy. If you'd like to learn more about Intuitive Mind and all the different teaching programs and services that we have, just go to intuitivemind.org. If you follow along in this meditation and this teaching and you really liked it, you want to know more about working with energies, then please look at our home study program, which is an online virtual program with 12 month of modules of teachings to kind of help guide you and educate you, teach you along the way through experience. And if you'd like to watch more videos on YouTube, it's Intuitive Mind with Nancy Rebecca. And if you want to know about our charitable organization, you can visit soulseeds.org. So thanks again, everyone, for listening. Next week, I will be talking about cosmic energy, that other enhancing energy to your soul.